Hi, my name is Rachel, and I'm going to be talking about the second book in a fantasy series written by Rachel Hartman. The series is called Seraphina, and the second book is called Shadowscale. First off, let's give a little synopsis about the first book so you understand what's going on in the second book. In the first book, Seraphina is trying to figure out who she is and how she fits in society, which a lot of teenagers can relate to, I guess, because they're always trying to figure out where they're going to go on in life and if this is their group or if that's their group, how we've all been through that sort of stage. Anyways, so as she is trying to figure out who she is and how she's supposed to fit into a prejudiced society against dragons and such, there's another person throughout the book that you will discover who is trying to break up this 40-year treaty between humans and dragons. And so you get to see this plot twist and turns throughout the book, and at the end of that, someone does succeed in causing essentially another world war and a civil war between the dragons as well, because some don't want to go to war and some want to live with the traditions that are kept. And that's right where Shadowscale picks up. Seraphina must go on this quest to find people like her who will help the war effort. I really like the second book better, just because of the description that is added to each character. I got to know more about them and their backstories, but also more about their mannerisms and characteristics. I really enjoyed learning more about the little quirks that each character had, and especially favorite characters. Also, Hartman's very good at keeping the tone that started at the end of the first book to the beginning of the second book. She makes Seraphina feel like she's still trying to figure out herself, but she understands that there are more people like her, so she doesn't feel quite so alone. Also, to show the characteristics of these characters going from being just general, having me to make up my own image of them. There's also, I have a reading snippet from the second book where it shows this stone-faced dragon, Eskar. She has a cold heart in the first book. No one wants to approach her, especially humans or anyone that's considered below her. But in the second book, we get a different point of view of her. Pheromone returned about an hour later, evidenced by the Quigs shifting their attention. He and another Quiggle were ushered up front, and the new arrival, who I presumed was Mytha, saluted Eskar the way a Seratin would have, gesturing towards the sky. Eskar saluted back. A murmur went up. As a rule, dragons do not salute Quiggle. Merthyr said to Eskar, "You brought us a novelty. You were always generous that way." And this quote just shows how Hartman has taken characters that we just barely gotten to know in the first book and has created more depth and layers between each character as you get to know them better in the second book, Shadowscale. I would give this book about a rating of 4 out of 5 stars, just because of the additional character layering and characteristics and detail that we get to know about them, but also the twists and turns throughout the war really keeps the reader engaged throughout the whole book. I would recommend this book to people who enjoy reading Eragon but want a different perspective on dragons, and I would suggest to people who are readers like me who enjoy description and detail to keep pushing through the first book even if it's not what you were hoping for, because Shadowscale will definitely make up for it in the end. Okay, thanks for listening and watching.